What is up, everybody? Jordan here with the Deck Box, coming back to you today with another Celestial Storm deck profile. Remember, we are looking at the Worlds format, so that is what this is kind of geared towards. It looks crazy on your screen. I'm going to explain myself in just a few minutes. But real quick, I do apologize. I was going to put out a video Saturday and Sunday. Friday night, I spent the evening with my wife, so skip Saturday. Was going to do 2 videos Sunday. We did a flow trip on Saturday, and I was a lot more tired than I expected, so I planned on recording on Sunday, which is today. Earlier in the day to get the videos out. Didn't happen, and then went to record tonight the first of the 2 videos, which was actually Ludicolo Mad Cargo. Recorded it, computer gave me all sorts of issues, recording wasn't right. I literally spent the last, I don't know, hour and a half working on my computer, and it's been driving me nuts, but I finally got it. So I figured I'm not going to waste more time on Ludicolo Mad Cargo. Just know this, I did win. It was against Buzzwole Decidueye. It was kind of a weird list, but I won. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to record that for in the future. But for now, I wanted to get this list out to you guys because I'm really excited about it. This is actually a list that I've been messing with for, I don't know, it's probably been a few weeks, but I've been testing it quite a bit. So my thought process when I came up with it, I went to a tournament, it's probably been a few weeks ago, I guess, and played against someone who played Zoroark with pretty much every Zoroark partner you could think of. It actually had Lucario, it had Golisopod in there. It was just really weird. It had those 2 in there, and may have had Lycanroc, I don't know, but it had this mixture. And it was playing Rainbow Energies and the DCE, obviously. And I didn't really like it, if I'm being honest. I didn't like playing against it because I didn't know what was coming, but at the same time I didn't like it because it's a bunch of different strategies with a bunch of evolving Pokemon, and to include all those into one deck, it seemed really kind of clunky to me. And so I thought, is there a way to do that with basics? Are there enough text that we could put with Zoroark to make it a really solid list? And so I was able to mesh this together. Another reason that I kind of came up with it is I was messing a little bit with Zoroark and Dedenne, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. I was building a list around that, and so what I did is I took my list with the Zoroark Dedenne, which I had been working on before I had seen that list, and added more text into it basically, so that it kind of counters everything in the meta. And it's surprisingly a super consistent list. I've had lots of practice with it with my friends, and I think a couple of us are actually going to be playing it now at the Open, potentially. Don't know. But this is the list that's really been doing well for us. So I'm going to walk you through the list, kind of explain why I play the cards I play, and then this one I'm actually going to commit to doing at least 2 games, if not 3, depending on timing. It is late here, so the longer I go, the worse my playing will get. But we'll run through this list. So we do run a 4/4 Zoroark GX line for a few reasons. One, we have that trade ability, super strong, especially in this list because we're always digging for little pieces to make things happen just right. But then on top of that, it has this Riotous Beating attack. 20 times this attack does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. Really not going to be your main attacker in this list. It's going to depend on your matchup, of course. But Zoroark is there to take some early knockouts potentially against some small basics, and really just to keep the consistency going. Something to note though in this list, we do play Rainbow Energy, so Trickster GX is an option. You can use Dangerous Rogue, you could use Buzzwole's GX attack, you can use all these huge GX attacks and take huge knockouts. So that is something to keep in mind. It doesn't always work because E-Hammer is a factor, so you just have to make sure to play it at the right time, and don't put all your energy into getting off one Trickster GX. You want to make sure that you're setting up your board appropriately. Pretty much only do Trickster if you have the opportunity and it's an open door for you. Then from there, we do play the one Oranguru. This is kind of just a staple in Zoroark list right now, that resource management. Put 3 cards from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck in any order. It's essentially a new order pad. It actually allows you to recycle those so that you can prevent yourself from decking out if you play against some sort of stall or mill deck. Now getting into some of the text. So the first one, the craziest one, that everyone's going to call me crazy for it, but it works. That's all I can say. So Dedenne is a basic fairy Pokemon, 60 HP, has the first attack, find a friend, search your deck for your Pokemon, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's not why we play Dedenne. We play Dedenne for the second attack for a DCE, Electric Chain, 30 plus. If you have any Lightning Pokemon on your bench, which, look at this, we play Lightning Pokemon. If you have any Lightning Pokemon on your bench, this attack does 30 more damage. So you're looking at 60. Choice Band is 90. Against any GX, for this guy to hit 90, that's actually not terrible. But We have this guy in the format right now, Rayquaza. Maybe you've heard of him. 90 from a fairy Pokemon, hitting weakness, hits for 180 damage on a Rayquaza GX. So that's a KO. Yes, I know that they're playing Fury Belts, but we play Field Blowers. We're not gonna be stupid and just think that we can get away with it. So a couple things happen. Most people aren't really healing their Rayquazas. There's not really max potions in Rayquaza list because they don't want to get rid of their energy. So you can hit for 180 and Field Blower later, or you can Field Blower and then knock out. Like it's a possibility. It works. I was playing against my friend Papa Blastoise, and my turn 1, because I went second, my turn 1, I one-shot a Rayquaza GX with the Dene. Turn 1, just like that. That's how fast this thing can set up. Just DZE, Choice Band, and of course, a Tapu Koko on the bench, which isn't difficult, and you're knocking him out. So it's a great way to play it. And if we have the potential, we do run a Kukui in here. So Kukui with all those things actually will one-shot a Rayquaza with the Fury Belt on it, so it's no problem at all. So that's probably the spiciest tech in this list, and the weirdest one, but I know everyone's looking for ways to counter Rayquaza, and I know I'm going to get 15 comments, why not play Sylveon EX, which if you don't know Sylveon EX, let's look it up and talk about it, so I can give my reasoning as to why I wouldn't play it. No, not this one. The older one. The one I don't have. Where'd you go? Okay. The full art's easier to read. So this is the Sylveon EX I'm talking about. I know some people have been talking about using this as a potential Ray counter. It's for the dress-up attack, 30 plus. If this Pokemon has a Pokemon tool card attached to it, it does 30 more damage. So a little less of a combo, I understand. It just needs the Choice Band, and then it's swinging for 90, which is a one-shot on Rayquaza. My reasoning for not playing Sylveon EX is I don't want another 2-prizer on my bench that is a liability. I mean, yes, I know Dedenne has 60 HP and anything's going to knock it out. I totally get that. But it's a non-GX Pokemon, non-EX Pokemon. I want to give up 1 prize per attacker as much as possible in this list. And that has been one of the keys to this list, is whenever I give up knockout, it's not a big deal. Because chances are I took 2 or 4 prizes with that Pokemon. So that's my reasoning for not playing Sylveon EX, personally. That is really my main thing. So like I said, I know I'm going to get comments, people asking, why not Sylveon, why not Sylveon? Dedenne kind of does the same thing. It just takes a little bit extra, but it's a Pokemon that we're going to use anyway. Anyway, moving on from there, we play 2 Buzzwole. This is a super strong card. It seems like no matter what deck it's in. The downside to this list is it doesn't have strong energy with it, and we didn't squeeze in a Diancie because it seems silly to put another tech in for a tech Pokemon. I don't tech for techs, It makes it a little more clunky, so we avoid that. But it has this first attack. This is what we're going to focus on. Sledgehammer 30 plus. If your opponent has exactly 4 prize cards remaining, this attack does 90 more damage. That one-shots Zoroarks in the mirror match. And I promise you, you are going to take plenty of knockouts on Zoroarks with this Buzzwole. Even without that condition being met, Choice Banding is still swinging for 60, 120 against the Zoroark. It's not bad. Never a bad option to use this Buzzwole against the Zoroark GX in the mirror match. Then from there, we're looking at 3 Tapu Koko. So we're using Tapu Koko for a couple reasons. One, it gets Pokemon within range of being knocked out from certain Pokemon in certain instances. 2, it has the free retreat, which is always nice. And 3, yes, it goes with the Dedenne. The Dedenne was not the only reason I played Koko. It is the reason I played a little bit higher count. But the Tapu Koko, you forget how good Flying Flip is until you've used it a few turns, and now everything, all of your big GXs are looking like Marshadow GXs with 150 HP. They're just kind of sitting there just ready to be knocked out. It brings tons of different Pokemon into range to be knocked out, and that is the strength of Tapu Koko. And again, gives up 1 prize, so it's not a huge deal. So the other night I was actually testing with my friend. Now, we were doing the mirror match, but it was a Koko war back and forth. And we were getting E-Hammers and Kartanas and just hitting all their energies and things. I took 8 prizes with my Tapu Koko. The last turn I took 2 prize knockouts in 1 turn. I'm not saying that's going to happen in all your games. I'm definitely not saying that. We were both kind of messing around with it. But really I didn't need anything else set up. I had other things set up, but I was like, I'm gonna use Coco for as long as I can. As much damage as I can spread with a non-GX Pokemon, then everything is within range. There's no limit to what I can do. So Tapu Koko is a really strong card in this list in particular. And then Celesteela. So this is a card that I actually hated when it first came out. I thought it was stupid, but then I kind of sat back and thought a little bit more about it. So I'm going to talk about my thoughts behind it. So Moonraker does 160 damage for a metal and 4 colorless energy. That is a huge attack cost. But if the total of both players' remaining prize cards is exactly 6, this attack can be used for a single metal energy. So what we have here now is kind of another Buzzwole with that specification. The downside to this one over the Buzzwole is this one, if that specification isn't met, it's kind of useless. You're not going to get 2 DCE and a Rainbow Energy on this thing without them either being E-hammered or this thing being knocked out. If your opponent sees, oh, they're just setting up Celesteela, they're going to let you put on 2 of your energies if they're smart. They'll let you put on 2 of them. And then once you put on your second one, they're going to Guzma it up, they're going to knock it out. You just wasted all that energy, all that time. You want to use this at the right moment, and you can do that with Zoroark. You can do that with Mallow. You use those, you pair them together, you get your Celesteela, you get your Rainbow Energy, you put them down, you get a Choice Bane, you're swinging for 190 with this thing. That's Lele's, that's Bulu's, that's Buzzwoles, that's Rayquaza. You're one-shotting all those. So again, this is another Rayquaza knockout, which is Rayquaza and Buzzwole should be in everyone's minds right now, especially if you're playing the Zoroark list, because those are 2 matchups that are not great for Zoroark, but with the list I've kind of put together here, it actually is not terrible. It's 50-50 at worst, I would say, depending on setup. You know, so this Moonraker attack I've actually used plenty of times for those spicy knockouts. Again, you get in that right circumstance, there's going to be a point in the game, most likely, where you have 6 prizes remaining between the 2 of you. And the reason I know that's most likely true is because you're using a lot of single prize attackers, so it's a lot more difficult to for your opponent to avoid those circumstances, and easier for you to set those up. Then we play 1 Kartana GX. This, of course, we use mainly for the Slice Off ability, and then if we end up in the 7 prize game, we can actually use Blade GX to balance it out and just take that final prize. I've done that, I think, only once in testing, but again, you shouldn't need it that often if you're taking a bunch of 2 prize knockouts. Then we play 1 Mew EX for this versatile ability. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's. You still need the necessary energy to use each attack. So it can copy Buzzwole to one-shot other Buzzwoles in matchups, depending on the setup. But really, most of the time, you're just going to go for a DCE and use Zoroark's attack. But there are times you don't have DCE, so you attach that Rainbow Energy. You can use Buzzwole's attack and take the knockout against a Buzzwole. It's really, really solid, and it's much more versatile, hence the name, when you have the Rainbow Energy and the DCE. And speaking of the Rainbow Energy, this is really, really cool. I noticed this in testing, this attack. I've never looked at this attack before, but replace for 1 Psychic Energy, move as many energy attached to your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way you like. This is actually huge in this list, and I didn't even realize it until the last time we were testing. I looked at my friend, I was like, you realize it has this attack, and it can move this stuff around. And the reason I think it's so great is because, so if you have Buzzwole or you've used Celesteela in a certain circumstance, and they're no longer of any use, depending on how things are set up, yes, you're probably sacrificing a Mew, maybe, it really depends on their setup. Maybe you stall something in the active, try to use this real quick. You can move that energy around and make things happen. You can move the energy to Celesteela if you really want to. If you know he's not going to be knocked out, might as well. Or you can move energy off of a Pokemon that you know will probably be knocked out soon. It's just really neat to be able to manipulate that energy. It's probably not something you're going to use a lot, but if you're in a circumstance where you need to, maybe you've run low on energy and you can't count on getting more, that would be the attack to use in certain circumstances. Then from there, 2 Tapu Lele GX for the Wonder Tag ability. We're going to be able to search for our supporters, get things set up. Energy Drive is also an option, but really not the best option in this list. Then we do play 1 Counter Catcher. It is very likely that early on you will end up going down in prizes. I mean, that just happens. You're playing little Zoruas, are going to be hit. It's all, basic Pokemon. You're probably going to go down at some point. If you don't, this is just a dead card that you can trade away. If you do, this is a really, really strong card that you can use to take a solid knockout. Then 2 E-Hammer. I mentioned the E-Hammers before with the Cocoa Spread. E-Hammer is huge right now. And running 2 of them when you have puzzles as a combo, when you have Mallow to set it up, is just so strong. So definitely would include this in your list. Then 2 Evo Soda. And this is really obviously just for Zoroark. Nothing else in the list evolves. Evo Soda keeps us from having to dump Ultra Balls to search for Zoroark, and it makes it just much quicker that way. Then 2 Field Blower. This will keep all of our abilities online. Since we are running Zoroark, we do need that ability online. We also need Mew's ability, Kartana's ability, Lele's ability. So a lot of different things going for us. And Field Blower will help us with that. And as I mentioned before, Field Blower is going to get rid of the Fury Belts on Rayquaza. On Rayquazas, so that we can take those knockouts. It's also going to get rid of their Wishful Batons, depending on how. Got the hiccups. Depending on how they're playing their list, some people have Wishful Baton, and so it'd be good to get rid of those before you take a knockout, so you don't have to deal with it. And then 4 Puzzles of Time. This is our last time to play this card. It's going to allow us to recycle cards from our discard pile. We can use it to look at the top 3 cards of our deck and put them back in any order. So you can do that if you're having a really, really rough hand. You don't do that, just because. You do that because, oh man, I have no draw support. If I don't get this draw support next turn, I'm done for. But it's so funny because 9 times out of 10, when I use Puzzle of Time to look at the top 3 cards of my deck, I find another freaking puzzle the next card down, and I could have gotten, a Sycamore and X Pokemon out of there. Like, it's so dumb how it always works out. That's usually on PTCGO. It's almost like it's just taunting me, but that seems to be how it goes with this. So always use it for the second part to where you get to search for 2 cards from your discard pile. Definitely the better option. And then I do play 1 Rescue Stretcher. I actually usually don't play Stretcher in decks that play puzzles, but in this list, with there being so many combo pieces, it's much easier to just play 1 card to get the 1 Pokemon I need out of the discard pile. Because there's a lot of times early game, I'll dump Celesteela, and then I just am able to Rescue Stretcher it later, attach the energy, and I'm attacking with Celesteela just ready to go. So it's really, really clutch in situations like that. Then we do play 4 Ultra Ball, of course, just to search for any of our Pokemon. We got a lot of different options. Just the 1 Parallel City. This has been great either way. I've been able to parallel people to keep their side of the field shrunk down, but then I also parallel myself quite a bit because, like I said, most of the time we're not really attacking with Zoroark, we're attacking with these tech Pokemon. So by using that to shrink my bench, I'm getting rid of some Pokemon that are like just a few hits away from being knocked out, or 1 hit away rather, and so it really helps to preserve my side of the field. It also gets rid of Pokemon that I know I don't need anymore. Like, my Buzzwole's done its job. Now it's just a liability. I'm going to get rid of it. My Lele's did their job. I'm going to get rid of them. So really, really strong card. And again, I can recycle this whenever I want to. It's not a huge deal. Then for supporters, 3 Bridget, of course. It's a Zoroark list, so we're going to need to set up and then trade. 1 Copycat. It's kind of odd to play this in a Zoroark list, but it's really great in the mirror match whenever you can Copycat and then trade after. So you get, if they have a 7-card hand, trade up to 7, or Copycat up to 7, and then trade from there, and just get this massive hand. You have all these cards to work with. That's one of those instances where you can look at playing a supporter before you trade, which I know is not the standard or whatever, but it really just depends on the circumstance that you're in, and that would be one where I would definitely approve of it. Another draw supporter would be Cynthia, just one of, and actually all of our draw supporters, Copycat, Cynthia, Judge, and Kukui. Mallow, I guess, is a draw supporter. They're all one-ofs. So the list is very weird. The supporter count is not huge, but it's so consistent because it's like there's something for each situation, and once you use it, you can still reuse it again with puzzles. We never seem to have a shortage. Guzma, we only play 2 of, which is weird for me. I normally play 3 to 4, but again, it seems like there's a Pokemon for every circumstance, so no matter what's in the active, we're good. We also have that catcher to counterbalance it, so it kind of works that way. So talking about some of these, Judge is going to kind of shrink up our opponent's hand and bring us up to 4 potentially, and could be very disruptive. Mallow's great to be able to set up the combos, since this is a combo deck where you have to search for like Buzzwole Rainbow Energy or Celesteela Rainbow Energy, Dedenne Choice Band. You know, it's just a really good card to include in the list because you can set those things up appropriately. Kukui can help you hit some numbers that are just a little bit better. For example, taking down a Lele with a Zoroark. DCE Choice Band, play that Kukui, you're hitting 170 and taking a knockout. So just little tiny situations here and there where these cards work really well. Then 3 Choice Bands just to hit those numbers once again. 1 Floatstone, really not a ton of heavy Pokemon. I mean, Zoroark has 2, Oranguru has 2, that's not bad, Buzzwole's 2. It's really Celesteela that you don't want stuck in the active with 4. That's kind of the worst one to have stuck up there. And then for energy counts, we have 4 DCE and 3 Rainbow Energy to round things off. I have considered, and I still don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I have considered cutting 1 Rainbow Energy and making it a Beast Energy, simply because the only Pokemon that run, or that we use the Rainbow Energy on, are our Beast Pokemon, Buzzwole, Celesteela, and Kartana. That's why I consider that. My only reasoning for not right now is because it shrinks up the potential of Trickster GX. If I only have 2 Rainbow Energy, chances are I'm not going to be able to do that. And on top of that, rather than running 3 energy and having the potential to hit it more often and be able to puzzle them back, only having 2 and a Beast Energy, when I'm done with it, it goes away. And I don't really like that. So I'm trying to decide between the extra damage or the extra consistency. And I think consistency is definitely stronger. And at this point, I wouldn't even know what to cut to make it 3 Rainbow and a Beast Energy, because I would love to do that. But I think at this point the list has been refined enough that I'd like to leave it how it is for now. So anyway, guys, I'm done babbling about this list. We are going to hop on the ladder now. Like I said, grab a couple games and see if we can make something happen here. Let's scroll all the way down. There we go. Zoro counter. And actually, Dan from Dead Draw says, he messaged me because I put on Twitter that I was having computer issues. He said, "Hello, it is I, the magical computer genie. I'm here to fix 3 problems." Okay, so I'm gonna let him know problems already fixed. So he usually is my computer guy. He helps me out all the time. So we're looking at a water deck here. I didn't see the typings. I'm going to hold Buzzwole for now. I don't know if Buzzwole will be necessary. If he's not necessary, depending on what we're playing, I will Ultra Ball him away, maybe the Hammer, and grab a Lele for Bridget, start getting things set up. Oh, so it's Ninetales. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yes, I will take that extra card. Thank you. Click done for now. So this one we have to do our absolute best to try to take one-shots, which is not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do. I mean, we have to, until they use their GX attack. The GX attack is our biggest issue. That's why we need to try to take one-shots or just not hit huge numbers without knocking out. So he's dumping a DCE right out of the gate, which is really interesting. DC and Aqua Patch, okay. Must have some good stuff in his hand. Another thing that I like to do sometimes with the Dedenne is actually, if you set it up right, you can use Dedenne your like first turn or your early turns to take little knockouts on like Vulpixes and Zoruas. They swing for 60. Alright, so we get Zoroark, so we know we're going to have that turn 2, which is nice. Buzzwole will not be one that we will be needing. So I'm going to get rid of Buzzwole, and I'm actually going to get rid of the Field Blower instead, because we now know that E-Hammer is going to be important. So alright, let's see, we didn't prize any of those. Good there. Good there. Got it, got it. Okay, good. So all of our Pokemon are here. Good there. Got our puzzles. Prized 1 Ultra Ball, not a big deal. Prized 1 Bridget, not a big deal. Good there, good there. I prized our Kukui. And prized our Copycat, that's 4. Prized a DCE, that's 5. prize one other thing. What did we prize? Okay. We'll have to figure it out later, I suppose. We're not doing bad. Alright, so we'll grab the Lele. And we will be able to get our Bridget, get things set up. Oh, on the bench. We're going to put the DCE on a bench Zorua. Simply because I don't want the active to get knocked out. Because it's very possible. And we could always Guzma something up and hit with Zoroark. I'm trying to think of what other Pokemon I want down. This is a weird scenario. I would assume Coco. I think that's the best option. Yeah, we're just in a weird scenario because we don't really tech metal Pokemon aside from Celesteela, but Celesteela is more just to be like a big hitter. Yeah. So decks like this could be troublesome. Alright, so we get another Vulpix. The good thing is, if he doesn't get set up consistently, as consistently as we do, then we have a really good shot. So he's going to Beacon. He's probably going to grab a couple Ninetales. So we're going to take down one of his Vulpix with energy on it. Oh, and he's got that baby Alolan Ninetales. So actually, we'll need to make something happen with that. Do I trade N? I don't even want to trade any of this hand, but I suppose I need to trade the E-Hammer. We can always get that back later. So far he hasn't played any of that down. We get a DCE of our own. That's good. We can actually set things up. Coco or Zorua? Coco or Zorua? I'd like to get another on Zorua. We will Guzma. We will knock out this Vulpix. Alright, so we get to take one prize right out of the gate, which is good. I think I remember the other thing we prized. I think it was a Field Blower. Alright, so there's an Ultra Ball. We could actually get a Zoroark this next turn. Depending on what we draw into, we'll dump Lele and whatever we draw. Then we can N and get into some more stuff. So there's that Ninetales. Buzzwole would actually not be a bad option for that. Because we're not going to stack 5 energy on Celesteela. That's just silly. We could spread with Coco, actually. Actually, yeah. Let's float him out of here. We'll trade the Lele. Maybe see if we can get into some trash to dump with Ultra Ball. Oh, we're not dumping puzzles, but we do. Excuse me, we do get a Zoroark. We'll get rid of the Ultra Ball. Actually, probably should have evolved the Zorua with DCE. That was a poor play. Just ignore that. We'll get another one. Hey, see, I knew it was coming. We're fine. We're good. No worries. Now I am actually going to end before I trade again, simply because I'm not getting rid of another E-Hammer. And of course I'm not getting rid of N or Puzzle. Yes, I know I'm bringing them up to 6, but it's not like we're bringing them up from a 0-card hand. We get a 4th Zoroark into play, so we're going to be just sitting there with a ton of trades. We have a DCE to put on Coco. We're going to be able to spread. We're in a really good spot. We gotta be careful not dumping too much. Field Blower, I think we can afford to get rid of. Buzzwole would be good at some point now that we know what's kind of going on. We will trade away Counter Catcher. So with 4 Zoroarks out, like I said, we really need to be careful with our trade. We don't want to go crazy with it, because if we do, we're just going to deck out. I mean, there's nothing we can really do if we just deck out. So we're going to let Coco start getting some flips off. He'll be able to at least hit this active Ninetales twice. And then when it gets knocked out, that's fine. We'll bring up Buzzwole and let Buzzwole do its thing. I would really like to find a Guzma, though. Bring up a Lele, choice band one of these Zoroarks, and knock it out. So we just go down to 3 prizes, which would be amazing. And really put us in a solid spot. So that's what we need to dig for, is a Guzma. Alright, so we're going to dump one of these choice bands. We don't need all of these choice bands right now. It's a little excessive. We know we have all 4 puzzles, so maybe we can afford to dump Buzzwall. Yeah, I still want to hold on to that E-Hammer. We can get it back. We can get Coco back, though. We've got a Coco out there. We'll dump him. Dump the Ultra Ball. Where's Guzma? There's Cortana. Okay, so we can puzzle back Guzma. That's good. What else can we puzzle back that would be worthwhile? Guzma and actually wouldn't be bad. That's what we'll do. And I'm not going to use my last trade this turn because I mean, like I said, we're blowing through a lot of cards, and there's nothing we need right now. We got what we needed. Guzma. Don't have an end to follow up later. Yes, we'll be ending ourselves down to 3 cards. That's fine. We can trade out of it. Guzma, we'll take down Lele. So see, there's the Coco spread. Actually coming in pretty clutch. I'm happy with that. Ride is beating. And we go down to just 3 prizes. We have Kukui, that's nice. So I'm wondering if he's going to Guzma and try to take down that Coco. We can E-Hammer away that DCE. Actually, he might snipe the Coco with his active. That would not be surprising at all. Yep, it's to be expected. So, all damage counters the opponent's active. Ugh, so don't want to hit him with that. You with. Let's trade away Bridget. Let's start with that. Like I said, this is just kind of a tricky deck to play against because we don't want to just whack it. Get a Rainbow Energy. Buzzle would be swinging for 60 on it. I think I like that. We will get rid of Cortana. Our bench is about to fill up. I will be able to E-Hammer, that's good. Here's Mallow. Gonna trade away Evo Soda, we're not gonna need that. There's Guzma. We could actually... Nah, he only hit 30. I'd rather hit the active, try to get rid of that. And potentially he'll knock out Buzzwall. Alright. So we'll choice band him. So if we're hitting for 60, he'll be up to 80. Then we'll need 130. So a choice banded Zoroark will do the trick there. We could actually Kukui. But then he knows he's more in range, so we don't want to do that. We don't want his thing to be worthwhile. We want to keep our Kukui so that we don't need a choice band later. So I hate giving up the DCE, but we still got, let's see, so we got 2 in there. Oh wait, hold on, let me look at the stacked view. So yeah, so we got 2 in there. So 1's still in our deck. We're gonna judge. Yeah, we're going to judge, bring us down to 4, which is good, because we got so many cards in our hand right now. And we'll judge our opponent down to 4. Alright, we still get our Kukui back. That's good news. So hopefully that'll shrink him up a bit. Do we trade again? Yeah. We'll trade and get rid of Mew. Definitely won't need that. I'd feel better hitting with the Dene for 60 or 90 than with Mew. Okay, cool. So we got a little bit of a hand there to work with next time. We'll Sledgehammer for 60. And then next turn, if he doesn't use his GX, then we can knock out with a Zoroark. He might retreat and go back to the other guy. Oh no, he's not. Okay. So we can actually take a knockout. Let me make sure I'm seeing this right. So we're swinging for 120. That brings it to 200. We can play the Kukui. We'd have to dump 2 rainbow energy. Man, then we need to like find our parallel to get rid of some stuff afterwards. Because then if we can go down to, because after we take this knockout, we'll be down to 6 prizes between the 2 of us. If he doesn't knock anything out with that guy, we could get our Celesteela up and knock out. Yeah, we're gonna do this. And we're not gonna trade. We're way too low on stuff. So that's 120. Kukui is 140. All right, there's Stretcher. That'll help us get the. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's the last card that was prized that we didn't see. Probably Parallel. So if we can get Parallel and Field Blower it, and Stretcher and get Rainbow Energy, we can do some fun stuff. DCE. Is Parallel the last prize? That would suck. Because otherwise we could do this awesome combo with Celesteela. I mean, the only way to really check... Oh, here, we can Ultra Ball to check. I don't want to get rid of... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Well played. What are you saying? You quitting? I got a Mallow. I gotta look at this here. So, got double puzzles. We got the rainbow. So yeah, we prized her. Dang it. That's fine. He's gonna knock this thing out. I think double puzzle wouldn't be bad to get back some energies to mess with, because we do need the rainbow energy here. So we'll trade away an Ultra Ball. Oh man, you know what we could actually do? Oh man, this could work out. This could work out. Well, no, I guess it wouldn't work out exactly that way. Hold on. So I'm gonna get these two rainbow. Yeah, I'm gonna get these 2 rainbow. I'm gonna put one on the Buzzwell now. Whoop. I'm swinging for 30 each time. Definitely not trading right now. So he's at 50. 2 more and it's knockout. I wish we would have had that parallel, because like I said, we could have done some spicy stuff with it. Shrink up our deck, fill it back up. It's going to fill our choice band in our float stone on the bench. Yep, no surprise. It's going to hit the active, that's fine. And then what's cool is we're going to hit him again, and we'll actually be able to close out with the Dene in our hand. I think that's why he thinks he has this. Let me double check. So we're swinging for 30, that's going to be 80. The Dene is just going to come up and swing for 30. Yeah, that's going to close out the game. He's going to knock out our Buzzwell, and he's going to think we only have GXs. I think that's why he was saying well played. I think he thinks he has this. Let's hope that we're right and he doesn't have it. I can't, unless he like puts something on his bench. Like, I mean, that would help, but then that just gives us another target. Yep, all right, so that's game. So we're going to bring up Zoroark, we're going to retreat it, we're going to let the Dene clean it up. And when we put down to Dene, they're going to be like, what does that card even do? What is this? There's Coco, but that won't finish it. GG's, sir. Well played to you. You're about to get smacked by a mouse. There we go. So we saw a W there. Yep, there's that parallel. against something that really we set up our bench a little too quick before seeing that they played the non-GX. I didn't even think about that, so that kind of caused some problems for us. But we were able to come out of it with those tech Pokemon, even without hitting their necessary counterparts. All right, so let's grab one more. That one took a little bit of time, but we're gonna grab one more and see what happens here. All right, so Dragon Psychic. So this is probably Rayquaza. So let's hope that Dedenne can do his thing. And really, I think the biggest strength about this deck is you don't really see Dedenne coming. Like, you just don't expect that for someone to slap it down. We get a Coco Bridget start. That is a prime start with Evo Soda and Ultra Ball to follow up the next turn, so we can actually set up some Zoroarks early on. I'm not going to put down the Dedenne yet, because as soon as I see it, they're going to knock it out. I don't have the right pieces for it, and I'm going first. If I was going second, absolutely. Okay, so Ultra Necrozma. That's, you know, potato. We can take down Necrozma. We'll just pretend like it's a Rayquaza. Alright, so let's see what we've prized. Looking good so far. Good. All good there. Prized one E-Hammer? No, it's in our hand. Okay. So we're good there. Prized 2 puzzles? What? Oh my word. Okay. So 2 puzzles, but hey, we know our prizes are going to be nice. Good there. Good on all our supporters. Prized a rainbow. We prized the parallel again. No, we didn't. What did we prize? My brain's falling apart. Cynthia's in our hand. I'm baffled. Rainbow Energy. 2 puzzle, that's 3. I think an Evo Soda would have been 4. Huh, I don't know. Alright, that's fine. We have a good setup at least. We'll set up like that for now. Alright, so he just gets that single energy attachment. That's good for us. Ooh, we could slap down Dedenne now, but we need Kukui. Let's Evo Soda first, because if we're able to hit Kukui off of a Zoroark trade, then if we hit Kukui off a Zoroark trade, then Dedenne can take the knockout. And I guess we also need Choice Band, so whoopsie. Alright, so we didn't get that. Kartana's not going to be much use to us in this list, and neither is E-Hammer. Unless they get Beast Energy down, that'll be the only instance, really, where that'll happen. I would love a Guzma, actually, to take down that Necrozma. We would need one more Pokemon, or a Choice Band, and Guzma. Or just a Lele. A Lele will get us both of those. There we go, just like that. Just gotta ask for it. Alright, so we'll put down the DCE. We're gonna get an early jump start here, which is really important in this deck, just to get that jump start on things. Especially whenever they're Necrozma, it's not only an easy 2 prizes for us, but it's a key part of their strategy. So we'll take him down. Maybe we can find out what some of these mysterious prizes are that we can't seem to figure out. Rainbow? A Rangaroo. Okay, that's still only one of the 2 I couldn't remember. But yeah, you don't really think about a Rangaroo. Okay, good. So we brought Ultra Necrozma back up to the front, so his Malamars won't be able to move energy to him. What are you going to get with that Lele? Cynthia. Okay, so he's going to go for some draw power here. So really what we need to do, we need to take down the active and then maybe the 2 Inkays or just the Lele. I would just love, I really want to have OB string. So that's going to take a knockout. But I really want the Dene to be able to knock out Necrozma. That's my goal here. I really want to see that happen. And I shouldn't make it my focus, but if it happens, that would be really cool. Alright, so now we gotta work some stuff back up. So we're gonna dump a Rangaroo. So with Ultra Ball and DCE, we have Dedenne right now. There's Kukui. I need Choice Band. Where's my freaking Choice Band? So, swing for 60. 80's 160. We'll do the Kukui. Let's see what we hit. So that actually brings Buzzwole up to 140. $30, $60. It's 160. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Ultra Ball away Celesteela and Cynthia. We're going to grab a Zoroark because now we can trade with Zoroark. If we hit Choice Band to Dene, then great. If not, we will just use Buzzwole to hit. We're going to try our options here, see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't bite us in the butt. We're risking a lot. Yeah. I was digging for quite a bit. We'll put that Zorua down at least. Chances are we will have an empty bench space soon enough. Especially if he hits another B-string off that massive hand. Which if he does and knocks us out, whatever, we'll knock him out following. And then he still has no Malamar, which really surprises me that he doesn't have any off that hand. Okay, there's one. But again, he can't apply it to the active. So that's an advantage we have right now. Right now he's counting on manual attachments and B-string. If he just gets manual attachment, then there's nothing he can do. So now he's going to have a Malamar. Again, I don't know why he didn't do that last turn. He's playing that new Deoxys, so he might be looking post-rotation. Oh no, he still got Bridget. Alright, there's another Dawn Wings. That is another win condition for us. So you just gave us 2 more prizes. We need to take down the Ultra Necrozma and the Dawn Wings, which shouldn't be too difficult. He's going to take 1 prize off our Buzzwole, and then we're going to knock out his Ultra Necrozma. Alright, so he's starting to attach energy to Dawn Wings. Oh, okay, that's for had the free retreat, I suppose? Maybe? Alright, so B-string here. Fail it? No, I guess it doesn't fail. He's just deciding where to put it right now. He's going for the bench. Alright, so he's going to use that to knock him out. That's actually great for us. He's putting his Dawn Wings at risk big time. Just to take a knockout on Buzzwole. Now he is setting up his whatever you call it, Ultra Necrozma on the bench. So he will be able to use that to take a knockout on something. But as long as we get some more energy on a Pokemon after we knock out this Dawn Wings, we'll be able to knock him out. He'll only go down to 1 prize after taking down a Zoroark. So we're in a really good spot, actually. We just have to make sure that this plays out accordingly. So in order to do that, we need to do some trading, make sure we get more energy to follow up. There's Rainbow, there's Coco. I'm going to get rid of Coco. Coco's not going to do us much good at this point. So at this point, I'm actually glad that we didn't put Dedenne down when we considered it. Simply because had we done that, he wouldn't have set up Dawn Wings to come take a knockout on Buzzwole. He would have brought out Ultra Necrozma and just cleaned it up that way. So it's really good that we actually didn't use Dedenne. So there's Evo Soda. That's actually great. We're going to be able to have a Zorua to follow up. We just got to hit this energy. That is our only issue at this point. Yeah, he's going to take a knockout on the active. That's no surprise. He actually just overshot. He doesn't need all three of those, unless he's just trying to do a big one just to show off. I don't know. Parallel City. All right, I will get rid of Lele. You actually should have done that to yourself. Gotten rid of your Ultra Necrozma. But then I guess you have no attackers, but... Alright, so Photon Geyser does this thing. All I need is a DCE. That's all I'm asking for. I suppose he's thinking get rid of trade ability because then we can't draw as much. But I just need DCE. And even DCE Choice Band would allow Coco to take the knockout. So, we are going to trade away. Hold the Ultra Ball. Let me get rid of Floatstone. Because we either win this or we don't. There's DCE. And you know who's going to take that knockout? It's going to be Dedenne. Dedenne is going to smack you so hard. Both games we're going to have Dedenne clean things up. They said it couldn't be done. There it is. 120. Not exactly what we wanted to see. Double puzzles there prized. So we get the victory back-to-back games. This list is just, I don't know, I'm impressed with the list, I have to admit. I know it's my list, I know I'm biased, but it's running smoothly. On paper it looks really weird and janky, but it runs really well. It's smooth, it's clean. It has a little bit of everything to take on the meta as a whole, and can deal with unexpected circumstances, so really happy with it. So now I'm going to hop over real quick and show you guys a list that, like I said, that I will most likely be playing at the Open. So here it is right here, bottom row real quick, get a look at the bottom row. It's those random one-ofs, tools, and energy, and there's the top, the core of the list. So guys, if you've enjoyed the list, please be sure to let me know. I'd greatly appreciate any feedback you have on the deck as a whole, the concept. You know, what are your thoughts on it? Take it, try it out. Let me know if it works for you, because I want to know if I'm crazy or if this actually will work. You know, so like I said, this is most likely what I'm going to be messing with. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like for me. If you enjoyed the list, please be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments. Say hey. Let me know if you're going to be at the Open. And we're less than 2 weeks away now. So if you're going to be there, let me know. And be sure to stop by and say hey. And as usual, please be sure to subscribe if you have not already. And we'll see you in the next video, guys, here in the deck box, where I want to know what's in your box. Have a great night.